Hello everyone, I am Susan. I'm from Worldpeacefull, and you may notice that I'm dressed slightly differently today. This is my real self. I'm coming out. I'm a peaceful, FWL. It's really funny, lately there's been all this hype about clowns and them being frightening. I don't think I'm a frightening clown when I dress as a clown, but this is my Cosmic Jester outfit, which I wanted to show you. It's a new type of clown, but it's a jester. So jesters are very much known for speaking the truth and reminding people of happiness, that we can have fun even in these very serious times that we're all going through. We can still smile and laugh and play, and that is the job of the clowns that really feel this as an expression of great happiness. They are the footsteps from which we wish to follow, because we're all here ultimately to be happy. So I thought I'm going to read you another chapter out of my book, which is called A Fool for Peace. And this is the introductory chapter on why I became a clown and the archetype of the fool, of which I have felt my life has expressed. I didn't actually know anything about fools before I became a clown, before I became a fool. And I don't mind being called an idiot. It's okay. You can call me whatever you want. I'll probably come. So the first thing I thought I'd show you is my clown outfit. As you can see, I have a really nice sort of cosmic hat and my beautiful cosmic hair. And I'm a great believer in rainbow colours. So we have the rainbow and I guess circles to represent geometric circles. In nature, everything is a circle and a cycle. And of course, we've got the spiral. That's a very important geometric shape as it's about expansion. I'll show you my necklace. That's my necklace. You'll see the spirals. When I went traveling to sacred sites around the world on my world trip, I noticed the spiral, particularly at a place called Newgrange in Ireland. This was a sort of a burial mound, but it had these amazing stones around it. And what I found out was that they actually had designed around this dome crystals. There was crystals that were sort of circular around the dome. But on the sides of the dome, in terms of these very large rocks, they had spirals on them. And that was the moment when I really looked at these and I felt they were some form of encoding. So I didn't really know anything about sacred geometry at that time. I still know only a little bit now. But what I do know is that it's about symmetry and balance. And of course, being a cosmic fool, I'm into peace, which is really about us remembering balance. So everything has its yin and its yang, but ultimately balance is where we want to go. That's not going too extreme in any direction. Although we may look colourful, that's okay, plenty of colour. Anyway, I want to show you my jacket that I made. I'll just show you it. So as you can see, what we have is these diamond shapes. That's like a checkerboard, and that's really to do with chess, the game of chess of life, where everybody's got strategic stuff going on. Of course, these are stars, so that's the cosmos. We've got here the Earth and Saturn as the planetary systems. So in a sense, maybe what this is really saying is that the cosmic order is impacting on this chessboard that we've all created, where we do strategic moves, or we see the world in black and white. In truth, it's not in black and white at all. It's a creation that's coming from thought, the world we see, and the world we live in. So I've got a nice dove up here to represent peace. This is kind of like a little insignia, but ultimately that's kind of a geometric balance as well. And at the back, you'll see I've got the Earth at the top, and then there's a pyramid at the bottom with light coming into the pyramid. And I've only recently found out that the light coming in from the pyramid is really reflective of what some might call higher intelligence, divine essence, some might call it. Pyramid itself is a geometric shape, the triangle, which is all sides balanced. It's an equilateral triangle, so it's about balance within this sacred monument. But ultimately, the purpose that I'm understanding is that people were to go through the dark night of the soul as part of some sort of initiation. And all initiation is really just going through an experience of awakening so that people can access different realms, which is interesting. I mean, we barely talk about this sort of subject in society. It's certainly seen as esoteric. And all esoteric knowledge is really inner knowledge. It's just coming from within us. There is knowledge that's innate, and sometimes you'll find everybody has it. We all have esoteric knowledge. There'll be moments when you're walking around, suddenly get an insight, a great idea comes. Well, that's esoteric knowledge. Maybe it's something you've never thought of before. So we're all part of this one energy system from space, cosmic consciousness, you could call it. I'm just sort of allowing inspiration to guide me on this one. But something made the planets. Something made the sun. I mean, these are not happenstance objects erratically moving in space. They are circling a sun. There is definitely gravitational impacts given the distance of moving bodies like the Earth from the sun and the various other moving bodies in our solar system, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto. All these different planets are all positioned on trajectories. They don't all come together in a collision. As you can see, things are moving around in this circular pattern in space or elliptical pattern. And the sun itself is an energetic source which is fueling this movement, of which we call day and night. But without this movement, there'd be no day and night. So it raises questions of, what is time? What is space? Who created this? How was it created? So the Cosmic Fool is really about asking questions about the universe we live in. It's not about being shy and going, oh, no, that's a bit out there. Well, it is out there. It's totally out there. And we've come from out there, clearly, because we're here now on this planet. So something or somehow life was created on Earth, and there's still much confusion and conflict over how Homo sapiens actually arrived on the planet. And there are certainly many theories out there. So I want to introduce to you the Fool. This is the Fool. And as you can see, that Fool there, that one there, not this one here, that one there, has diamond patterns on his vest. And he's got a beautiful white rose there. And he's leaping off the cliff. Now, this is symbolic for leaping off the cliff of your fear in faith. So you're stepping off, trusting. You've got the rose, there's an innocence within that. And you're just following your heart, because the rose is kind of following your heart as you step off. I did that when I travelled the world, and I didn't know where I was going to stay. And I literally just stepped off the cliff of my own fear as a female travelling alone around the world. And it was really an amazing, remarkable time for me. So the reason the Fool has kind of emerged in my life is because I've literally lived that life where I've stepped off the cliff of my own fear and had no idea what was coming, but I knew something would come. And always something does come. And that's what that symbolism actually means, is full trust, that you're not going to fall, that something will come. And to live in that sort of space means you become fearless, because you're not sitting there worrying about what could happen. You're just trusting that whatever does happen is fine, and you believe you'll be fine. And I learned to do that because I've had to test myself many times. So anyway, with that, I'm going to read now some beautiful information about the Fool and my own journey from my book called A Fool for Peace. And you can Google it and find it. Free PDF is floating around in cyberspace. I haven't published it yet. I will one day. But for the moment, I just want to share what I've learnt with the world. The introduction is I am a fool for peace. This book is a fool's journey sharing how I chose to be a fool and trust my heart against all the odds and follow what I know to be true for me. Yes, I did carry a little bundle on my back. This was filled with questions, courage, values, honesty, and love. I walked alone, yet my intuition guided my steps and gave me the trust to step off the cliff into the unknown. It is a journey you cannot plan and would seem impossible if proposed. Yet it unfolded as naturally as placing one foot in front of the other. It was Lao Tzu, the famous old Chinese philosopher, who proposed that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. This means action taken from stillness. Whenever I step into the air, solid ground appears beneath my feet. Some call it landing on your feet. But I have always found that life supports my every step. From the archetype of the traditional fool or jester, I have created my own clown character, Peaceful, or depending on my mood, Peaceful, FWL. Jesters are known for speaking truth to power, and on this journey I found myself following the invisible threads to weave truth and love. When I closed my eyes, I saw Gandhi as a silent traveller beside me, gently nudging me to not give up and find the road less travelled. Always his vision came to me to be the change you wish to see in the world. This mantra disciplined me to walk the talk. In 1998, I had a dream that I was teaching peace, and this opened me up to my own quest. Though I didn't realise I was reaching for my personal holy grail at the time, the question arises, is the Holy Grail a real cup or is it mythical cup? Perhaps it is a metaphor for the real gold of life, of what I call the fool's gold. Perhaps this is the gold of self-realization. Many have spoken of the alchemy of transforming base metal into gold. Perhaps in truth it is really about personal transformation. Transforming negativity into positivity as the real gold of life. So I'm going to take you on a fantastic journey that only a fool could make. We're going to step off the cliff of what is perceived as the solid ground of life to find the real magic of life. Come with me and let's go on a journey to discover the peace within. Perhaps you are a fool for peace. So what is a peaceful? The fool is the archetypal figure who embodies living peace, or another way of seeing it is that peace lives through the fool. The fool steps out into the world, into life with innocence, discovering the wisdom as she stubs her toe on the stones and rocks of life. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to be with the pain and learn how to transform pain into the fool's gold. If one keeps returning to the same place and stubbing the same toe, then the fool hasn't learned the lesson or has been in a vague state, not really awake as she walks in ignorance. The peaceful carries real hopes in a bag of magic tricks. Real hopes is an acronym for responsibility, empathy, awareness, love, honesty, oneness, peace, enjoyment, and service. These are the virtues that the fool has inside which give her the strength to step off the cliff into the unknown. Real hopes is a metaphor for the rainbow bridge that bridges what divides us, or some may say, bridging heaven, or spiritual, and earth material. Each value is the wealth she carries. It is the wealth that is real, the real wealth. But it is the fool's gold because everyone thinks it is not real wealth, as she has nothing material to show for it in life, and so is thought of as a fool for taking this path. Others are spellbound by the trinkets and material things in the world, whilst the fool spends life discovering that the gold is within and watches bemused as the world keeps digging for gold and looking outside of themselves to other people and the external world to give them the gold. The fool is in a frequent state of joy because she has everything in her bag that she could possibly need. Many people in the world are in a frequent state of pain and lack because they are always trying to find the gold out there at the base of what they think is the rainbow. Yet what they seek for is the illusion. The fool knows that when you go within, that is within you, you do not go without. The world has it the other way around. When they go without and refuse to go within, so it becomes that opposite. So they think everything's outside themselves. The fool knows everything is within themselves. So the fool feels full, and the people feel empty. And that is a state of play that creates contrasts. The fool knows that when you empty of need as greed, that is when the gold appears like magic, bringing the sense of fulfillment or full, F-W-L, fulfillment. People think if they are empty, they must fill their metaphorical stomachs. Yet, they get hungry again and spend their whole lives trying to be full. The secret is in realizing that all fools carry the fool's gold, real hopes. The fool's gold in real hopes is living as responsibility. Know you are responsible, that you have the ability to respond. It is in your hands. Empathy is feeling empathy to all those you meet. You stand in their shoes and make new friends. All are potential friends. Some are in disguise. Awareness. Know that awareness of life is to recognize things are not always as they seem. So you see first to look at the world. And what that means is to see first is to go within and then look at the world. You see differently when you do that. That is, you look within first to your own truth. Know you are here for a journey and that there are no mistakes. It is as it should be. Be aware of the lessons parading as conflict. They are the greatest teachers. Love. Know that love is the answer. When you feel love in being alive, you love yourself. You love life. You love everyone. Suddenly life becomes colourful and you attract the most exciting things to yourself. And if things don't go according to plan, you still feel grateful. If someone is on the side of the road sad or lonely, go up and chat with them and help them out. Honesty is the next value that the fool has in their bag. Know that honesty feels clear and it is a simple seeing of what is so. You cannot be falseful to anyone. You are the real deal. Honesty helps you look at life as it is without projecting negative beliefs onto situations. Honesty realizes there are many truths and remembers the mirror ball. Every person is a mirror on that mirror ball. Honesty knows that the truth sets you free. You no longer carry a story about others, but allow others to be who they are. You no longer assume bad things will happen to stop you going into life to explore. Risks are no longer dangerous. They are just beliefs you haven't questioned. So you become curious. Why not be an honest fool so people can trust you? Oneness means that the world is your family and each person has a family. You remember they could be you. You know that everyone is connected and you are open to life, just showing you what you need to know. Although it seems that things happen in a linear way, but somehow you are choosing your experience from a whole array of possibilities. You are one with life. Oneness is like one of those cool plasma lamps. All these wild electromagnetic currents radiate outwards. When you touch the ball, a beam connects with your finger. So it is like you are one with life, but at the same time you choose. Oneness is when you see yourself in the other. Separation ends. Peace is another value that's in your knapsack. Peace is the gold that is not unlike a tempest than a calm sea. It is being a peaceful all of the time. The peaceful accepts everyone and doesn't resist anything as life is happening in its own rhythm. When you are in harmony with life, you don't try and change others. You change yourself. That is why Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Just lead by example without forcing others to do it your way or fighting for peace. If there is a problem, you can use your tool bag to resolve conflict with people. Sometimes people misunderstand and get angry. You can gently say how you feel by stating your truth and see what happens. But don't expect them to think like you. Big mistake. Empathy has taught you to know better. Just let people walk their own path. It is their journey. Somehow, sometimes, we learn right now. Other times it might take 20 years. So we learn when we learn. Peace knows everything happens in perfect timing. Peace is aware that beneath the conflict there is wisdom waiting on your welcome. Enjoyment is another value that's in your knapsack. It is a shiny gold that just glitters and sparkles with happiness. As a fool for joy, why not crack jokes and see the funny side of life? And feel joy and curiosity about life and what is happening. The fool plays around in a light-hearted way to remember not to be serious, since seriousness has some fear in it. Because many people worry if something doesn't happen their way, they won't be happy. Just be happy that life is what it is and you are not in control. It is a bit like a parachute jump when you just allow the forces of nature to take you. Gravity facilitates the fall to the ground, not up to the sky. Enjoy the ride. Smile at mistakes and learn with good humour. Enjoyment is in harmony with your true nature. You are on track and life feels great. And the last value is service. So this is real hopes. So S is at the end. Service is a journey itself, and when you look at your road, it is the one less travelled. Your path is unique and fascinating as you meet so many people. You try so many things and live in a way that you feel is who you are. When you have gathered all the nuggets of gold within you, you will naturally find that you will want to serve the world. You will find there is no enemy out there. but only unquestioned thoughts within you. You start to realize that you create your life. You realize that events happen, but you decide whether to look for the cup half empty or half full. You realize you can create better outcomes in the future based on what you have learned that hasn't worked. You know now what does work as you have found the nugget of wisdom. So you serve by sharing what you know and wishing others goodwill. Or some may say God's will. For all are equal. While our journey may seem hard, know that you are carving your own philosopher's stone. You are the love and the wisdom you seek. Knowing this preserves the world as you would serve your very self. So this is the Fool's journey, real hopes.